space. I'm looking forward to hearing more than speaking. Thank you.
Having me here. My name's Edward Cole. I'm founder of Catalyst Technology. My background is in financial markets, particularly digital trading systems, electronic trading marketplace. Through my understanding of how software like Bloomberg completely revolutionized and magnified the speed in which financial markets grew. And the way they did it was because the players themselves, the markets, started to share information conveniently amongst themselves in order to get better transparency and more trust in the pricing of financial products. And like our previous Ravi, for example, myself also, we're now in the startup business, using that information to enable the safe sharing of reliable data. That's me, and I hope to contribute to how the new economy of young
healthcare fund in the US. So we built about 30 startups in the last this opportunity.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Adi, and basically I'm particularly responsible for developing the market in the US and in the Middle East. So, and also try to provide some tip to how to overcome such challenges in a competitive market. Thank you.
A founder of an F&B brand that's trying to scale up within the country. And I look forward to this interaction. Where
Is it audible? Yes. Yeah. I'm Srinath Parankusam. I can advise on all the startups. One message for all the startup is
OSS Prasad, 1980 IIT Delhi graduate in mechanical engineering. Cup of coffee, there is some startup in that. So in my career, when I was there in Chevron, we have group chairman of Kakatiya Group of Industries. My technicians, my supervisors, my engineers,
Then holding it back, don't worry. We'll welcome your claps.
Hi everybody. And I was very frustrated about all the red tape and the accounting requirements and the fact that when you speak business, entrepreneurship, to make entrepreneurship accessible for students, for young entrepreneurs, without spending a lot of money on...
And accomplished leaders who only have not grown their businesses but also are numerous opportunities. Most of the opportunities and most of the attention at least is being paid to the tech-based startup. So I will encourage our CEOs to kind of also touch upon, see what can be done there and what's already happening there. If you can enlighten us based on your experience, that can be fantastic as well. The other key topic is while starting, so kind of we touch upon all of these key topics. So let's start with the opportunities. So to talk about the on your previous answer about what opportunities you see for the entrepreneurs here in Hyderabad, in India, and also globally.
Well, yeah, thank God you add globally, because I'm not an expert on the Indian market just yet. So, yeah, the opportunities are, of course, enormous, but at the same time, I heard the unicorns next door, unicorns, you know, they are rare. So, specifically about market research and opportunities, but at the same time, most successful startup does not decrease your chances, of course, to fail. So I think one of the biggest opportunities is indeed focus. So the main problem with small and starting entrepreneurs, young 10% that will fail, if you have experience with another country, with a concept of entering a new market, and
Dennis, I think the opportunity is just enormous. If I have to summarize, I think, opportunity to become...
It's going to go by AI or something trendy. Of course, AI can be leveraged for any startup.
Thank you, Satya. It's very valuable advice because a lot...
It's important that we have Bono. And as one of my panelists, for the sake of earning money, money should follow your passion. Point is, if you really want to contribute to the society, we don't need to think quite big, where everybody is serving without any interest. Employees in the world, the number of employees are more in India. I'm there.
No, I think it is absolutely fantastic. It's a quotable. Is my idea validated? of course, we have passion, we develop something that we love, but if there is someone fancy, I think the chances of success are a little higher. So to comment on the customer centricity, I would ask Adit to
mentioned about, if a startup is coming with a disruptive or a path breaking, is solving some issues, okay, ready to give me the solution. When I go to the clients always have a very less bandwidth, okay? So I asked him, like, what is your top line? So we do about 50 million. Tremendous pressure, right? Scalability is an issue. So years ago, how we used to see all the credit card business, insurance business, banking and financial products for a social cause, which is there, which is good. But if a startup is serious, I'll give you an example. I have a mentor who is based out of California. He built this business. I have a team. What do I do? When I met a lot of other people, do cold call. So the
customer centricity, if it is done correctly, then it also helps tremendously with the go-to-market. So thank you. Chaitanya,
as much as we do in terms of sales and marketing, and you pump in money, you pay social media influencers, customer acquisition, but most importantly, customer retention. And how do we retain is only through customer service. That is super powerful. You have to deliver what you've promised and do it consistently. It's not just about doing it once, but doing it every single time that the customer calls, they're going to find someone else to supply. So how much are you in touch with them, partnering with them, and continuing on their journey from government and so on and so forth. But how many times do we think about ease of doing business for our customers? Questions. I think that concept of ease of doing business for every single customer is really, really important. That key element of seeking proactively feedback from the customer on, be it the product, be it the end of the day, we all want to improve, we all want to get better and gain more customers. So there's nothing more powerful than that come to my mind in terms of customer centricity.
Thank you, Chaitanya.
When it comes to customer service, the organization should be honest to the customer and just communicate that to the customer honestly, that we have done mistake, we will do it, or we will. Over 12 years' time, we have not lost even a single customer till now. So that's the thing. You have to be honest to your customers.
And maybe the attention to the planet, the sustainability. These are the three key that are going to differentiate the companies from one to another. So thank you, Chaitanya, for adding to that point. We will, generally I'm very right ingredients that are required for the success of the startup ecosystem. So,
and I'd like to sort of overlay it with put myself in the situation of somebody who's trying to. Internet now has 4 or 5 very large companies which dominate the internet as a gateway. So the internet today, the young entrepreneur access to their marketplace, and as Dennis was saying earlier, the compliance overhead, the number of layers of a challenge that needs to be addressed. And I think this is covering not just this forum here, but we saw that in agritech, where they've got seeing a lot of barriers in health compliance, which you can understand, but they still need to at the moment of participation. And then you look at which has already been mentioned a lot today, about the demographic, and they give you the opportunity to participate and own part of the stake of that success. Then we get back to the ecosystem. In effect, improve an idea and execute an idea once. You can probably do it many times. And we see other examples on this panel where people have done it before, speak to each other and form communities. So in effect, you've got to find that community that actually cares about what it is you want to. What I'm really driving at is you have to hold hands, you have to share your philosophy, you have to build those communities. And if you do that, to take your technology, I'm not sure that's your best idea. I think your best idea is to learn threat to the current undemocratic internet that we have and actually offer a very scalable alternative.
It is very, very important what you mentioned, especially now the word that you use, undemocratic. I think there is now the opportunity on that same. Ravi, if you can comment on the ecosystem. And also the emerging technologies, be it Web3. Web3 kind of taken a little bit of hit, but maybe comment on that as well, as to how can we make it more accessible and what is the ecosystem changes that you
we talk about. One is an ecosystem that will enable you to succeed, and second is an ecosystem doing some other job, some other profession, some other business in the past, and you started a new business today. For you to be honest, you might not have done sales before, you have been a technologist, so that's doing some other thing before or some other way before. The second type of cohorts that we see in the startup are the first-time startup. So they typically, they don't understand that they don't have a lot of things that they needed to be able to operate as a business. So the first and foremost, be clear in terms of be able to willing and accept sometimes. If you have to do it yourself, you'll do it in a certain way. But you have a help system, you can get a lot of things that you don't have to take a burden on yourself because somebody else would have already done it. Value a product or a solution or a service can deliver. So you need to find your sales and your marketing, right? Don't hesitate to take help. There are a lot in your core competency. Please try to lean on others. That's number two. And lastly,
separate the sales team from the tech team. Now, I'll give you an example. And I'm not a tech person, I'm not a cybersecurity specialist. I have a team of tech leads and tech team, IT heads in the bank. Invariably call me in 3 to 4 days. Because somewhere there is a communication gap. Now again, I'm talking about the client centricity, right? With the tech team, because tech, right, whom you can rely upon, that's where you get the project, you get the repeated clients, and the client
told me. But before you leave, you have built many startups successfully across different industries.
Why entrepreneurship? Okay, so entrepreneurship is a way of life. That's how I have taken some of the experiences. I have believed in two things, or rather I won't say I would know this when I started, but at least after 32 years. In 32 years, I have been an entrepreneur for 20 and all that. So anybody can say, hey, you studied mechanical engineering, went in, then why did you leave? After 20 years of gap, I had a saving for my his grandson, I had a just son. He thought that this first experiences that I can tell you, we all have one life. We don't know what is the second life. Or we don't even know. We helped a lot of startups, sold companies, and today I'm still trying to build something at even it. Thank you. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Manohar Reddy Garu. Fascinating to hear what you have to say. We have heard from all except for one, and everybody spoke up.
Necessity is the mother of invention, struggle for existence, and survival of the fittest. That level to us. With AI at place, we have sky is the limit for startation. These are the only things that are required to get. Old days, we used to take months together to get one drawing fixed and accepted. Today, AI at place or any other tools that may come over the period of time. When we never know after a couple of decades what would be other tools that are available. Research labs going to yield the results. So what I have to say is startups today, few. And whatever you wanted to put a question, that should come back to me. And then reverse I will answer. Those days will come. A technician. So startup is order of the day. Startups are unlimited scope.
Everybody. And ISF, J. Chaudhary Garu, with all of your effort, I think everything that we talked about. Please.
Yeah, single most important solution, medicine that you can offer. Thank you very much.
Infant mortality. Anybody from the healthcare background? Go ahead.
Sorry, I snatched the mic. Rather than following what you are expert in it, what your heart says, that is the biggest failure, starting failure.
I think to me, commenting just further on that.
Just to add, if I may add, the second part of the question, it's a sheer community here. everyone is ready to volunteer. And one, I would say seek help. You know, there's nothing wrong.
Thank you. The general statistics are out of every 10 startups, 2 succeed tremendously, 8 others take a little bit longer time if they persist. With that, before Jyoti comes and pulls us out, I would like to get...
So much of audience are still there in the hall during lunch hour. So saying that, I request Jay Garu to be coming on dais. I see multiple hands are raising. Yeah.
See too much. Everything is an experience, right? These are all pearls of wisdom. We should be a part of your...
Here in India. So way to go, team. Yeah.
There is a say what Alibaba says that first the startup. And the second takeaway was Ratan Tata ji always says that if you have an opportunity, take the project and then start thinking is very cooler.
Amazing, amazing. Sanjeev Garu, you did great job and all. Give an offer that you cannot reject after lunch, right? I know many people would think like, let's have lunch and go. We will have a discussion with Gaurav and Apur. Now, one who investors, everybody to be here at 2 o'clock. Let's have fireside chat with Apur and Gaurav. After that, we have a unicorn round table. This is dream of Jay Chaudhary Garu. We all